Well, then we can just go straight into the thing. We can just do it.
All right.
Okay.
Ooh.
3. Oh.
Yeah. You do. Yeah, 3. I'm so sorry. I am not on my game today. I feel like I'm just like a little behind in everything.
I feel the same
Just
way.
like my internet.
We'll get through it together.
Exactly. I think it's good that we come into this space with the energy that we have. And like that, to me, I feel like this is therapy as much as it is entertainment for others.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, whatever mood I'm in, this is what I'm going to bring today. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we'll count down. 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Witchcast!
'Cause it's Witchcast.
Yay!
Woo! I'm Kate.
I'm Emily.
And this is...
You go ahead. I'm so sorry.
You normally do. It's okay. This is the Witchcast podcast.
And we are your witchy hosts, your witchy co-hosts. Right. We are burning, growing, baby, toddler, teenage, mutant. Sexy 20-something, teenage mutant ninja witches.
Yeah. And
we're having a hot witch summer. We're doing
great. I love that. Hot witch summer. And yeah, we invite you to learn along with us about anything that is a little woo-woo, spiritual, witchy, esoteric, pagan. If it's not denominational, we're interested in it.
Yeah, and this season, as you probably know if you're listening to this episode, but in case you're like just dropping in to find out, this season we're just kind of like, yeah, hi, first of all, thanks for being here.
Oh my gosh,
and then,
nice.
Wow, thanks for checking us out. So this season we're doing more of a casual thing. It's like with the whole pandemic, we were kind of like not feeling like doing our hour-and-a-half long like researched like full-on episodes. So instead what we've been doing is catching up with some of our witchy world friends, our magical community, and also just like checking in with each other, talking, like telling stories, talking about what goes on in the world. So it's
whatever we really want in the moment.
Yeah,
the world was ending. It was an intense time.
Yeah, we were doing our best, and we continue to be doing our best. And so, thanks for joining us on this journey. And we'll all just have a nice time together.
It's a witchy hang. It's just a hang. It's a little get together.
Just like
audibly.
That's all.
Yeah. And today we have a really special guest, a friend of the podcast. They've been on before. And let me get all the titles because they do so much. They are mystic, light worker, tarot reader, Reiki practitioner, astrologer, and spiritual coach, Aaliyah Walston. Welcome.
Woo! The crowd goes
Hello.
Wild. Hi,
Aaliyah. So happy to have you back. Oh yeah, of course. You're welcome anytime.
Oh,
thanks. You do so much for the community. I feel like your social posts are so wonderfully educational and enlightening, and also just like a burst of warmth. Every time I see you on my feed, I just get really excited. It feels like, I feel like just your Instagram just grounds me in that moment.
That's really nice to hear, because I'm definitely like not feeling super enthusiastic about social media and Instagram in particular right now. So I'm glad that that the warmth is still coming through, that the genuine warmth that I try to come to my work with is still coming through in spite of my current reservations about social media. So that's great to hear.
Yeah. I mean, I feel you. Social media is like a curse. It's a necessity.
A blessing and a curse. Yeah.
It's a blessing and a curse. It's an evil necessity. But yes, you are, if there's many terms I could use to describe you to others, but authentic and genuine, definitely really high up there. And it definitely comes through for me. So.
Yeah. You have a great Instagram presence. I agree. I see you on there and I think, great. I'm glad to see that post. There's a lot of schlock on Instagram. And so it's like, there's a lot of like scroll past, even, not so much like my friends, but like, there's just so much like, makeup ads and like, blah, you know,
Yeah.
just things you
It's
don't
I'm
want
always
like-
getting stuff for shapewear. It's so insulting.
Oh.
Yeah, it's so corporate these days.
Yeah.
It's just you're very, very aware that you're being sold to a lot of the times, and I think that's part of what my um, hesitancy around social media has been recently. Just because I personally, I'm still learning to lean into like the selling aspect of being an entrepreneur, and
Yeah.
I'm very, very conscious of like wanting to make sure my message is authentic and it's like reaching people as an invitation as opposed to like trying to manipulate them or anything like that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's such a good mindset to have. I work full time in branded content. That's all we talk about. And like authenticity is a really, big concern. And it's always like this balance. I think that brands try to have. Pride Month, actually, I think is like such a great example. We were just talking about this with some of my coworkers who are my friends, and like slapping a rainbow on something doesn't mean that you support and, resonate with the community. And a lot of brands are getting backlash, rightfully so, I think, about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally.
You can't be like an aesthetic ally 1 month a year and expect to get anything back. And you shouldn't. And it sucks that people do that. And it's inundating and it's hard on the soul. Like,
yeah, it's funny
just
too.
like-
There's some brands I'm just like, why do you have the rainbow brand right now? Like, I don't need you
Yeah.
to have a rainbow brand right now.
Right.
Like cooking blogs and stuff. I'm like, I'm just trying to find a recipe. I don't need anything else right now but the recipe.
Yeah, it's gross. It's gross. It leaves a bad taste in the mouth. I think like I think especially with the Black Lives Matter resurgence last summer, I saw a lot of that too with brands. I do think on one hand, I noticed a lot of companies taking their D&I and, self-education much more seriously. Like it was started to expose major systemic issues within companies and private companies. But I also think there was a lot of, like positing going on as well of, again, trying to appeal to consumers purely for profit.
Yeah, performative shit.
Thank you, performative. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, I got you.
But speaking of you, one thing that I really love about your posts, Aaliyah, is that they're very educational. Like I think, and not in a dry sense, but in the sense that I feel like I learn something like every time I read your post copy, which I think is great. And something we were talking about just before we started recording is Eclipse season. And I always struggle with what eclipses mean in terms of, because, I try to catch, Emily and I've talked about this before, like we try to catch the full moons and the new moons to like do little rituals for. It's hard to, without doing a huge deep dive into astrology, is really understand on a day-to-day basis how the planets really affect us. So when you say eclipse season, what is it that you mean?
Yeah, so eclipses are basically superpowered new and full moons. So today, the day of recording, it's the solar eclipse in Gemini. So that is a new moon in Gemini that is also an eclipse. And eclipses happen every year, at least 4 times a year, sometimes more. Last year we had 6. No surprise there. 2020 having 6 eclipses.
I did not know that. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and so eclipses happen. So they're the thing about eclipses is that they are activated by these points in the sky called lunar nodes. And lunar nodes are something that I actually really love talking about in general. They're also called the nodes of destiny. And they are points along the moon's ecliptic, the north node and the south node. And so they're basically what triggers like eclipses. So when you know where the north and south node are, that's when you know eclipse season is going to happen. So the north node moved into the north and south node, they're always they're opposed to each other. They're always in direct opposition to each other in the exact opposite sign and house in the same degree. And their motion is always retrograde as well. So the last year in May 2020, the node shifted into Gemini, which is where the north node is now, and Sagittarius, which is where the south node is now. So when you know where the nodes are, you know that's when eclipse season is going to hit. So yeah, eclipses are just like big portals of like powerful energy and traditional kind of wisdom, like indigenous wisdom of all kind of cultures, European, African, like American. They typically suggest that you don't try to do any kind of like manifestation or like ritual stuff around eclipses because they're basically like it's like God kind of like taking over. It's like, okay, you've been doing your work and now it's time for me to like do the final sweep or final like pull through of this kind of energy. So you don't really need to mess with the energy because it's kind of like unpredictable, which doesn't make it bad. It just means that like it's a great time to allow yourself to take the hands off the wheel, allow yourself to rest, allow yourself to receive and process and integrate. Especially this eclipse season that has been through a Mercury retrograde as well. So in Gemini. So yeah, it's just like a big energetic portal where it's just like, okay, we're going to be transformed in some way. And you can usually tell where those transformations are happening by looking specifically at your natal chart where those signs fall in your natal chart.
Wow. That was a great explanation.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Yeah. Very. I feel like anyone who didn't know, like, you know, not necessarily us, but let's say hypothetically. Yeah.
Yeah. That matches up to what I thought too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that pretty much aligns with my notes. So
no, that was so clearly laid out. I was like, oh wow, that makes so much. I never thought of, I guess from like the eclipses or something, I was just like, it's just random. And all of a sudden someone posts about an eclipse and it's that day. But thinking about it in terms of the nodes and knowing when it's coming, that makes so much sense. That's great. That's really helpful.
Yeah, it helps a lot. It helps you prepare before it happens. So it's not just like, well, you're getting blindsided too in the process.
Yeah. I tend to get mostly blindsided. Live in blindside.
Yeah, Kate knows I've added all the new moons and full moons to my work calendar to like, but I feel like now I have to like that was a layer and it's like now I'm on board and I have like that rhythm in my mind and now it's time to like layer on the next thing and maybe that should be like eclipses and like just like know that it's coming and like be ready.
That's what it's like with astrology. Like I tell clients this, like, and students, you can look at your natal chart your entire life and still not like get everything out of it that you could. You'll learn until your last breath, you know, about your natal chart and about astrology. It's just endlessly rich. So yeah, it's always fun to like kind of at your own pace, like learn about new things. And I totally understand. Before I understood the lunar nodes, I thought eclipse season was just like, oh, what is this? Like, is this a magical thing? How do we know? What's the season? Why are we in a season now?
It's happening again.
Yeah. I love that mentality though, because astrology is something I'm very interested in, but it's super daunting to me and I get overwhelmed. And then, so I just kind of push it away because I'm like, I will never understand it all, but maybe accepting that I will never truly understand it all is the key to actually learning more about it.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And there's all different kinds of astrology as well, too. So even so-called like professionals, or I mean, not so-called, but professionals and people who have dedicated their lives to it, they'll still be learning all their lives too. Yeah. There will always be something they don't know as well. It's cool. It's a great equalizer in that respect too.
Yeah.
I love that. I have a question going back to what you're saying about not manifesting during eclipse season, because I do see that a lot on social media, especially on like Witch Talk and Instagram. It's like, don't do spells, don't like during an eclipse, it's too powerful. However, let's say someone, not me, but maybe a friend of mine, maybe has been lighting a money candle lately. Over the past couple of days, is that okay? Like, you know, what can you elaborate a little bit more about what happens if you do magic during the eclipse season? What can I expect?
So funny.
Am I screwing myself?
Yeah,
I mean, my friend, not me.
Right, yeah. So yeah, that's one of the other things that's important to remember about how we talk about and learn about astrology too, is to be mindful of making sure that we're not like scaring people, that people aren't buying into like fear about like doom or like terrible shit happening to them because they did this thing on the dark moon or anything like that. Like, like some people not everyone agrees on the manifestation thing about eclipses, for one. I think it's definitely becoming more mainstream, at least on the kind of social media circles that you and I might like look at. But in general, I think like people have all kinds of approaches to it. And so I think that like I've been doing my own kind of like intentional work like between the portals. Like I think it's really like a matter of like trusting what's coming through from your guides, what's coming through from your highest self and from your body. Like what does your body need? What is your soul telling you? And let that be like kind of like the guide for whether or not you should be doing any kind of workings. And like don't expect like some sort of doom and gloom or like kind of disastrous thing to happen because you've been lighting a candle, especially if it's been something you've been thinking about for a while anyway. Like money stuff is not something that just like comes out of, I mean, sometimes it comes out of nowhere, but generally speaking, most of us are trying to call in more abundance at some point in our life. So it's totally reasonable to like be in rhythm, like, and follow your own rhythms when it comes to that sort of thing. So I wouldn't trip too much about it. Just allow yourself to just like rest and like let go, like enjoy the break too, is how I kind of see eclipses as well, you know?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love the idea of it just being a time to like let the universe's forces or God or whatever you believe drives things, like let them take over, and you know, it's not your time to push. It's like it's your time to like just stand back and take your hands off the wheel and see what happens. I mean, don't take your hands off the wheel when you're driving or anything, but like, you know, metaphorically speaking.
Yes.
What are some like self-care or like good, healthy, good practices that you like to do during a time like this where, you know, like, and, you know, you were saying that you feel a certain type of way during eclipse season. And I can sense that vibe from a lot of people in my current inner circle, but I can't, you know, it could be just because my coworkers and I are all involved in certain things at work or whatever, but like, okay, so my question is, what do you notice typically people and yourself tend to feel during times like this? And then what are some ways that you like to work with that?
So it really depends on the signs that the eclipses are in, and then the extra layer too is each person's individual natal chart, where those signs fall in their natal chart, what house those signs are in, and if they have any kind of planets or any other things aspecting natally to the current transits. So, say for example, with me, the lunar nodes are currently in my sixth. The North Node is in my sixth house, and the South Node is in my 12th house. So the sixth house in astrology is a house of like routine, organization, health, the body, like how you approach work, not like your career, but how you like show up to like work and how you ritualize embodiment, basically. And then the 12th house is the opposite kind of ideas. It's like how we approach the subconscious, how we approach like oneness, how we think about like the things that are not tangible. And so for me, like there's been a lot of emphasis on cleaning up my relationship to routine, cleaning up my relationship to like habits. And I hate that shit, to be real. Like it's like not my favorite kind of realm. I'm kind of a very kind of spacey person. I live in the subconscious. I live in the unconscious realms. Like, and so being like really, really present and having to consciously and intentionally, create new routines for myself has felt very, very uncomfortable. And it's like, it's brought up all kinds of stuff around body stuff as well and health. And so like, and we're talking about Gemini and Sagittarius. And for this particular season, for the rest of the year, the nodes don't shift until January 2022. So we will have another set of eclipses in Sagittarius season. So we're talking about like thinking, like how we approach thinking, how we approach like our beliefs. So these seasons, you might like you might feel more anxious than usual because we're talking about Gemini, an air sign that's about like thought and communication. You might be questioning like long held beliefs that you've held onto that maybe weren't even yours that you need to like release. That's the Sagittarian stuff. So, lots of different feelings can come up. And like I said, the best way to approach it is to allow yourself to not judge all the muck that comes up and not shame yourself for like feeling out of sorts and like assume that you should be approaching it one way or that you're doing things wrong. Like the only moment is now, and like the way that we approach like a sense of like peace and love is by offering yourself just like so much compassion and releasing shame. So it's really like this is a really interesting time because it's asking us to like really rethink like what we believe and to lean into like curiosity instead of trying to like hold on to like black and white thinking that doesn't serve us, you know?
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I feel like I had therapy this morning and now I'm doing this and I'm feeling very, very raw.
Oh, I love it. Bring it all in. Bring it all into the recording. I'm all about that. I think compassion, releasing shame, that's been a lifelong journey for me. It's amazing though how much easier life gets when you are kind to yourself versus beating up on yourself for things that are already hard. That's, I think, such a hard struggle for so many.
Yeah. And it's learned. It's not something, we're not born shaming ourselves and judging ourselves. It's a socialization, and that's like annoying and frustrating, but also that's like, and to me that's like a bit of hope as well, knowing that that is like not who you are. Like that's not like what your real, like that's not what your soul's inclination. Your soul is never judging you. God is never judging you. That's just not how it works. Like this is zero how it works, you know. Like, and so I take a lot of like faith in knowing that this is not like who I am. I can practice like releasing this, even if it's loud and uncomfortable, you know.
Yeah, it's a habit, not like a fact of you.
Right? Exactly.
Like, yeah.
Well, it's such a great way to, again, such a great perspective. I love that.
Yeah.
I want to take us down the side road and about shame real quick, because I love talking about shame.
Yes.
It's such a deep thing. So I grew up full of shame. And it's so, in the 9+ years of therapy, has been working on trying to, for me at least, pinpoint where is that coming from. I remember, and because I know you do a lot of physical work as well, spiritual and mental and emotional, it's all tied into to your practice, I feel. And something that happened to me in college, Emily and I both went to acting school, and one of my classes, we had a substitute teacher for the day, and she had us do some movement, and massage work on each other, which is honestly quite normal for acting school, worth every penny. But like we did this one exercise where we had partnered up and we had to go, one of us went into a bridge, and then the other person had to crawl underneath on all fours and lift up to help stretch out the spine and the back. I did it to my partner, and she felt great. It was fine. Then we switched places, and I went into the bridge and she crawled underneath me to lift me up. And I immediately had like a panic attack. I must have been carrying something in that area that got stretched out, and I panicked and I started freaking out and was like, put me down, and like immediately started bawling. And the teacher came over to me and had like the girl move out of the way, and like had me lay in a fetal position on the ground, and was just kind of like rubbing my back gently. And she was like, you have so much shame. She just said that very softly in front of the whole class, mind you. Again, acting school norm. But I was like, I remember crying there being like, what is she saying? Like, it just hurt. Like, in my mind at that time, I didn't realize what was happening, but it's clearly has stuck with me now for like 12+ years of, you know, what is that? What did she mean by that? And is that what was happening? What was that kind of release? And honestly, I've been like that's been part of my self journey, I think, ever since, of being like, well, where is my shame, and where does it come from, and where do I hold it, and where does it rear its head? And I don't know. I'm wondering, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, one, I mean, that's like your teacher was like a seer, and she just like called that shit out like as soon as she saw it, which is pretty
Yep. In front of
incredible.
everyone. Yep.
Which that part probably wasn't very fun having everyone like see you in that moment, but so sending love to younger Kate for in that moment as well.
Yeah, because that was not like a very nice thing for her to do either in some ways. Like it's like even if she saw it, to label it in front of everybody is like a tough thing to bring to a young person's life.
Yeah. I mean, again, acting school, that's all we ever did was like get called out on really deep personal traumas in front of people.
But also, like, I don't know, we were in different like tracks basically,
That's
but both
true.
in the same basic acting school. But like I felt like most of the time the teachers were right on, but sometimes they were just like fucking saying the thing that came to their head and like
right, yeah.
They've just been like enabled to do that. So also like, don't let her have too much power over you.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I will say quickly though, everyone else in that class did end up having a breakdown themselves by the end. I was just the first one.
That's a relief.
It did kind of help that everyone cried by the end of that class. She was definitely there to push buttons. Like I hold no ill will towards her for that.
Great.
That's
that
great. Specific teacher. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, in terms of like holding emotions in your body, I absolutely believe that like there are just like knots that when you release them, you're gonna cry because it's like it's how you hold like, especially childhood stuff. But like, it just be like, but even I mean, I think it continues as you get older. It's just there's less room for new knots.
I had a moment last year. My friend Madre Jaguar, they were hosting. I was reading tarot for an event that they were hosting. It was before COVID really hit. This was like the weekend of Valentine's Day, and we did this. There's a large group of people in an intimate setting. We were doing this exercise where we were paired up, and we were. One of the things that we did, I can't remember all of it, but we looked into each other's eyes for like a minute or 2 minutes or whatever, and I wasn't crying, but the way I describe it is that my eyes were just like suddenly extremely itchy and leaky, and like I like could not keep my like eyes open because they were just so itchy. Like clearly it was like activating, like being seen in that way was activating something within me. And I'm sharing that too, just to like say that we've all had moments where we've suddenly been very intimately exposed in front of like people. And like, and even like in all my like whatever knowing and all this work that I do, I still have plenty of like spaces where I'm just like, I've been caught. Like this is like the thing. But yeah, shame, like God, my God, shame is just so fucking toxic. It's truly like such a challenging energy. And it's energies like shame and judgment are like super, super toxic, not of any judgment on the person or people who are experiencing it, but because like the function of judgment and shame, it keeps you away from, it keeps you from aligning to your authenticity and to your true self, because you are preoccupied with the notions and beliefs of another, basically, when you're in the energy of shame and judgment. Like you've created these like blockages to your heart and to your soul, and that cause distortions. And that's what makes it so particularly toxic, like more so than things like anger or anything like that, because anger is at least like, anger has its issues, but it also has its functions too. Like it speaks to like a very kind of like clear emotion, even though it often is covering up like a sadness. But shame is different, and shame, judgment, and guilt are different because they're keeping you from your essence. And there's nothing more important in soul work and light work than being aligned to your soul, being willing to be present with the real you, so to speak, the you that exists that exists outside of time, that exists outside of just this one moment in this one body. And so it's really, the thing about shame is just like being able to recognize it, because it's like very, very insidious. It's extremely insidious. And what I suggest to folks who are working with shame for the first time is just learning how to recognize it so that you see it when it's happening. And so you don't like act and emote and think only from those places, so that you're able to like stop yourself and be like, oh, wait, is this me, or is this like shame talking? Is this guilt? Is this judgment?
Yeah. Like both like giving yourself that break and like trying to remove yourself from those situations, and also making sure you don't pass it on is such a big, because it's like just a gross river flowing through the world, like.
Yeah, that's the thing that I think about so much, is how, because I know something that's very personal for me is that I know I've always wanted to have children and have a family, however that manifests. And so I think about all the time is, how can I raise my kids my future children to not have shame? Because I look back at my childhood and I've worked quite a lot with my therapist and like on all the issues that my parents might have had raising me. No one's perfect. Our parents can ruin us in many ways, and also society and life just does. And I don't think of any specific, real moment from either my mom or dad that really was like, this is where I got my shame from. It was like a lot of little micro experiences from school, friends, teachers, other places, but also in a way kind of felt just something I inherently had for such a long time. So it's like, how can I make sure that I don't pass that on? Like, how can I make sure that my children do not grow up with that deep sense of shame that I did? It's something that I think about a lot.
I loved you mention this, because I think about like, new souls entering the world, like children, and how we can, as a collective and individually, teach them to be free, or like to be free, period, just like to be themselves and to explore the world without all of this socialized bullshit that we hoist on to everyone. And I think like with that, like with kids, it's like and this is also speaks to the current nodal positions too, is letting kids like have their curiosity, letting kids like say what is true to them, and joining them on their journey of understanding, instead of like trying to shut down their questions or say that's not how things are, or like let them explore, let them ask questions. And then like necessarily, like if you are a guardian or a parent, when you are with a kid who is asking all these like tough questions, or even like seemingly simple questions that like reveal so much about the world, like letting, like you necessarily end up having to question your own beliefs too, and how you show up in the world. And so it's a really beautiful opportunity to let kids like ask questions, be themselves, show that adults and parents are not perfect, that they fail, that they don't know the answers all the time either. Like, don't set up like rigid expectations for like what the world is. Like, just say, for example, like we're just talking about Pride Month and stuff like that. This is like as simple, and for me it feels obvious, but like might not be for everyone. But like talking about like how families are created. Like, don't say like when a man loves a woman, when mommy and daddy. Like, not everyone has a mommy and daddy. Like, like just doing simple stuff like that. Like creating like an openness and talking about how people love each other, as opposed to specific like genders or sexualities or even roles and names. Like, not everyone's raised by their parents. Like, there's so many different ways to like explore the world, to see the world. And it's so wild to me. It's so silly how we just like, we all know that the world isn't just as simple as like we have a mom and a dad, and then there's 2 kids, and then we all have a house, and then we all go to college. We all know it. And yet, why the fuck are we perpetuating this fucking story? Like, it's wild to me. So don't do it with the kids. Like, don't even start it with them there. Like, nip that shit in the bud. That's how I feel about it,
Yeah.
That's great.
It's, so much of it is like interrogating the things that, like, if you don't think about it, like the gut reaction of like what you heard on TV, what you heard from your parents, or what you heard from whoever like was your parental figure growing up. It's like you get those narratives in your mind where you're just like, well, that's what you say, and it's like, it doesn't have to be. You can change that, but you have to hear it and you have to see it in order to be able to change it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I love the idea of allowing space, and so much of our unhappiness is unhappiness is self-created, right? Like, we impose these restrictions on ourselves. We say you need to be X, Y, or Z, and you need to follow these rules, but according to who? And according to what? And what would happen if you didn't? Like, at the end of the day, I think that's so interesting how much of I feel like human suffering is truly caused by it's all within our own power to really change. I mean, of course, obviously people are born into different situations and again, have different statuses, but that again is all self-created, right? That's what society says. That's how we view you. And it's based on nothing.
Exactly. There's like that, I don't know if y'all have seen that tweet going around over the last few weeks. It's like, I can't even remember it. I hate when I do this. I just start half-assedly quoting a tweet, but it's basically
that's all what this podcast is telling people. Yeah. Did you see that tweet? It was about a rabbit, but also socialism.
Yeah,
it was perfect. Great.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
That's hilarious. The tweet was basically like we could do whatever we wanted as humans. Like, we're basically capable of anything, and yet we created like credit scores and taxes and shit like that. I was like, yeah, what the fuck? We don't have to do it this way. It's all created. It's all made up. It's all made up.
It's all made up.
Yeah.
You know what's so crazy too is that other countries don't have credit scores.
And credit scores are hella new. I think they were started like either just before like we were born, like it's sometime in the 80s.
Yeah, the thing that blew my mind that I learned over the last like year or two was that you can like pay money to improve your credit score, which is so stupid.
Of course you can.
It's so stupid. Because
our capitalist society is bullshit.
It's so perfectly built to trap only the people that can't afford to just like find that out and pay it. And it's like, what a stupid system.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's
really infuriating.
That's what I keep thinking about, like cryptocurrency. It's like, to me, it's the exact same as the stock market. It's something has value because we say it does.
Right.
It literally means nothing else. There is no actual value. We value things, therefore they have value.
And that's also a very poetic thing to think about in terms of just like light. I said light, which is not what I meant, but that applies as well. But life, like how we approach like magic, how we approach like living our magic too. It's like what we pay attention to, what we say has value is what has value. Mm-hmm. So if you place value on certain kinds of thinking, related to judgment and shame and all these restrictions, and that is what will grow. When you put your attention on your heart, on your creativity, on pursuing like the things that feel important to you, and that shit grows, like value is attention. Value is what we say it is.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. We say it's so, and so it is. And so if you say, I'm a piece of shit, I'm a failure, I'm never going to get this job or whatever, then you're right. Because that's what you're saying. Right. That's what you're putting out there. Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm a big believer in that. That's great. Sorry to interrupt. But
no, keep going. Please.
Yeah, it's just that I honestly I feel like doing that changed my life. Like just like forcing myself to change my internal narrative from like, you are bad at things to like, hey, you're doing your best. Like that was okay. Like, don't worry about it. And just like, not saying things like you're a piece of shit to myself is like life changing. It changes how you experience the world.
Absolutely. Well, that's what they say. Like the difference between shame and guilt, right? Is that this is like this is boiled down to very basic terms, but the popular idea is that guilt is that you did something bad. Shame is that you are bad. That it's like related to, and people use, I think, the terms differently. And obviously they all kind of touch on the same feeling and psychosis and whatever. But I think also it's just kind of amazing that magic work. Once I started delving into, Scott started initially in Wicca, and like once I started to look at my own spirituality and look at my relationship to it, it was at like the same time my relationship with therapy kind of began. And it's amazing how much mental health is tied into spirituality and vice versa. Like everything that I learned with my therapist is reinforced with my magic work, and the same, like, and vice versa. Like, again, like everything I do in my magic work is reinforced in my therapy. It's extraordinary. And so when people are like, ugh, witches, and so lame, I don't believe in that. I'm like, it's literally life. It's science too. It's all connected. You have no idea how deep it goes.
Totally.
This thing goes all the way to the top.
Yeah, right,
all the way.
Yeah, I think a lot of us have had to learn like what magic is, and that it wasn't just like Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Like I'm talking about like the 90s version, not the Netflix. Right. I haven't seen the Netflix one, but
it's not that either.
Yeah, it's not just like getting what you want. It's not like it's not only like just trying to manipulate energy to get what you want. It's like really there's no manipulation involved when you're really coming at it from your own like kind of personal power, from the seat of your soul. Like it just is. It's like the shit that's yours is yours, and it will, and it already is yours, even if it's like not in front of you in this very moment. Like that's like your birthright, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like you can't even truly utilize magic effectively without being, grounded in yourself, in an emotionally clear space. Like I know if I'm in a, kind of messier place emotionally, I can't even focus on anything magic wise. I feel like all of the work that, all the grounding, casting circles or breathing exercises, meditation, journaling, all of that is about, I think, kind of is self-work, is mental health work, is about, knowing yourself. And you have to know yourself in order to take advantage of your own given power,
Totally.
Yeah,
and I think it also depends on the kind of magic you're doing. Like the kind of stuff we're talking about, to me, feels like that's like heart-centered, like soul-centered kind of magic. There's all kinds of magic out there.
That is true.
And so some of that shit is more is different, I'll say. But for our purposes and the kind of stuff that I share, and that kind of stuff that actually like changes not just our individual lives, but like changes the way we live collectively, changes the world, changes our relationship to the world. Yeah, you have to come at it from your heart, from a place of like, and it doesn't mean you have to have all your shit together. Like, listen, like I've had my moments like recently, like yesterday, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't mean you have to have it all right now, right? You don't have to have it all figured out. It doesn't mean like there's not problems and not challenges. It just means that you learn how to respond to it differently. You have different tools to help support yourself, support your body, support your mind, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, no one's got everything figured out. No one's perfect. It's like, so, it's not worth putting that on yourself to like try to be more than just like what you can bring to every day. I don't know. Does that make sense? Am I making sense?
Yeah. I also think like being like going back to the shame thing, when you love yourself, when you're being kind to yourself, when you are being understanding and compassionate with yourself, all the better, right? Like that's what it all is too. Is like, yeah, I could be really messy right now. I could have messed up, like I'm a human being. That's okay. And I'm still worthy of love. I'm still worthy of abundance. I'm still worthy of what I desire. And I have it all within the power within me to have all that too. I feel like I'm talking in circles, but I wanted to touch on, you mentioned like the in your teachings and what you offer. So you provide a lot of services. You give back to the community quite a bit, Aaliyah. And like, I know that you're doing something right now called the Lovers. Can you speak on that? What is the Lovers, and where did that come from? How can people get involved?
Yeah, so the Lovers is an online community that I created with the intention of bringing more consciousness to heart-centered living, living from your soul. And it came from, I had like a membership site before this that was called Taking Up Space. And I enjoyed doing it, but it was kind of like your typical kind of what you would expect from any kind of like Patreon style kind of membership page. I did like one card readings, like I talked about astrological transits. I did, like all, and which is all fine and great, like no judgment about any of that stuff. And I still do that stuff on a regular basis. But I was also kind of feeling like I needed like a greater sense of like community as well. Like I wanted to really like connect to the people that I was working with, especially since, we're all in digital spaces like right now primarily. Yeah. And I've been working primarily in digital spaces even before the pandemic too. And so like, and I just thought about like, what are the things that matter to me when it comes to like creating community, to fostering like a sense of like joy and peace within myself. And I was pulling cards around it, and then I pulled tarot cards around it, and I pulled the Lovers, and I pulled the Emperor. And the Lovers is my birth card, and the Emperor is my card for the year. And like just all of a sudden, like it just came, like this idea for the Lovers just like came to me just like in a flash. And I was like, okay, I know exactly what I want my new community to look like. Because I was ready to transition from my old one, and it just like I just wrote it all out in like a day, and then I announced it like the next day to the subscribers of my old community. And my intention is to like create a space where folks can cultivate love within themselves and see that like love is not just like this passive kind of thing, this woo woo kind of thing, or like this kind of bland love is love kind of shallow kind of understanding of the workings of love. Like love is like, it is us, it is everything. It's literally the glue that keeps the universe and all of us together. And love is an actionable energy by necessity. And just like I was saying before, talking about like how we can teach kids, like when we really like, because kids are basically just like, before they get socialized, before it gets socialized out of them, like they are just like manifestations of abundant love. And just like in that example, like it's really just like once you kind of start to look at the manifestation of love in your life, you start to question everything else around you, all the systems around you, how you live your life, how the things you find acceptable in your life, how you work, how you relate to people. It really like fundamentally changes how you approach existence. And you realize that, as we were saying, so many of the structures that exist are not actually supportive of our wholeness and of our peace. And so this community, it's just a little slice of an opportunity to create more conscious people in the world who move from their center, from their infinite knowing, and they are willing to like continue to grow that. So what does that look like? I'm just saying all the shit, which is true, but like basically like I love
with the spoon. Keep going.
It's a place where I share essays. I share meditations, but it also is a community. Like we have a Discord where people like share their artwork and kind of talk about like what's going on with them. I really wanted to like create like a sense, like a thing that I thought of a lot was like when I was like a preteen and a teenager, and I would like be in my room listening to music or like watching a movie, and just like wanted to create the kind of safe space where I was like so excited to like create, to be creative, to be passionate, and to like share my love and my excitement with the world, like create that kind of like environment and atmosphere for folks. So to that end, like I said, the Lovers, it's hosted on Coffee, which is basically like a Patreon like alternative, spelled KO-FI. So there's like a page or like a blog where I post like meditations and writing, but I also have an advice column where people can like send in questions anonymously that I share publicly on the blog. And so it's kind of like in the style of like Ask Polly, if you've ever read Ask Polly in New York Magazine, or even like if you've read Ask, I don't know if it's called Ask Baba Yaga, but it's like Baba Yaga. There's an Instagram. I can't remember the name of it.
Oh my God, amazing.
So it's like in that kind of style, which is like therapeutic, heart-centered kind of like advice around navigating the world from a place of love. And then also the other aspect of it is the Love Consciousness Healing Group, which meets monthly. We're having our first meeting this week. And we just talk about different ways to ritualize our approach to love in our life. And so, yeah, it's meant to be like a soft, beautiful place for one to express themselves and their creativity freely, and recognize the simple divinity in that.
That sounds incredible. That sounds
Wow.
really great.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. And so if people are interested in learning more about these communities, or if they want to join, I mean, is it closed right now? Are you open to accepting new members? How can, obviously they can follow you on Instagram, but how else can people learn more?
Yeah, it's registration and enrollment is open. You can go to my Coffee page, which is just Coffee, KO-fi.com/the-lovers. I believe that's what it is. I can double check that.
Yeah, we'll link it on our website too for everyone.
Yeah, we'll make sure to put the link. If that's not it, we'll put the link. And if that is it, we'll still put the link.
Excellent, thank you. Or you can just go to my website as well, which is just aaliyahwalston.com.
Great. Awesome. Yeah, so we'll link to all of that. And you also provide, you said that you still do readings sometimes for people, and sometimes you do meditation, you lead meditations as well. What other kind of, services do you offer?
So yeah, I do one-to-one readings with folks. I do self-love readings and tarot astro readings, which self-love readings, well, starting with the tarot astro readings, like we look at your natal chart and pull cards around any kind of like inquiry you have to help you navigate that inquiry, that question. So it's supported not just by channel cards, but also by looking at, what's going on in your natal chart, either natally or transits. And then the self-love readings they do all that. So there's a tarot reading and the natal chart readings, but it's also meant to specifically help you on a particular kind of journey or need that you have around cultivating love within yourself on a personal level, kind of touching on your specific kind of needs around love and acceptance, really. I also teach at a wonderful nonprofit in Chicago called Inner Sense Healing Arts. And I teach a class there every other week called You Are the Spell, Light Work for Revolution. And that is a class that is meant to help people recognize like a lot of stuff we were talking about before, like how to be able to approach things like their understanding of life from a systemic point of view, and also recognize how how we live our lives is the spell. That is like the real ritual. That's the real magic. And learning how to apply those things to your life. And then finally, this other thing that I also love that currently enrollment's not open, but will be open again in the fall. It's a project, it's called Come As You Are. And that is really like a big deep dive on examining your belief systems and being in practice, being in a witchy practice, like coming as you are, like with an understanding that you are inherently magical, you're inherently divine, and kind of working through some of like outdated belief systems and learning to deprogram from them, while also just like kind of learning like what is energy, what is intuition, what is compassion, what does all this stuff mean. So it's basically like great for like beginner or intermediate kind of folks who are looking for additional kind of support for understanding how to approach their lives as magical people. And that's a 4-month program that meets every other week. And we're in our last month of it. This is the first iteration that I'm doing of it. And I'm opening up again in the fall. So yeah, I'm excited.
Awesome.
Wow, that's so much. That's great. How has it been going?
It's been so great. It's like actually like it's exactly everything I wanted it to be. And I know the students are really getting a lot out of it. So it's been an extremely beautiful experience. It's been great.
Wonderful. That's so great. And so people can follow you on Instagram at Aaliyah Walston. We'll link it in our Instagram and our website as well. So to keep up with all of your news, and of course, AaliyahWalston.com, right?
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
Awesome. I have so much more I want to talk about, but I feel like I've been like arguing in my head of like, just let it be. Just let this be what it is. I feel like maybe I don't know. Do you have anything else you wanted to talk about before we draw a card?
No, I think we should draw a card and see what it is. That'll be nice.
Aaliyah, did you have anything you wanted to share before we draw a card?
I think I addressed everything.
Yeah. We talked about so much. I literally had a breakthrough.
Yeah, I mean, we could definitely do like a whole other hour of this, but I feel like
I don't want to be selfish.
Yeah.
But do you have a deck that you'd like to use today, Leah? We'd love our guests to draw a card.
Yeah. So one of my first teachers in kind of the magical experience is Lindsay Mack of Wild Soul Healing and Tarot for the Wild Soul. Her husband created and released a tarot deck last year called Tarot of the Holy Spectrum. And so I've been using that deck. I just got it this year and I've been using it more often. So that is a deck I would like to use to pull from.
Very cool.
Is there an inquiry that we have, or are we just pulling a card to chat about it?
We can do it either way. I think usually if we don't have a specific inquiry, we just kind of do like insights for the coming weeks for like our listenership more broadly. So it's a pretty broad but like also sometimes we'll just do it like, how do you relate to that card in this moment? So I guess whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, whatever you feel called to do.
Sounds great. I was like wondering if I should mute myself because I shuffle like a poker deck. But I'm here.
Personally, love the ASMR.
Yeah, I always keep a little of the shuffling in even when I edit because I think it is kind of a nice sound.
So soothing. Oh, this was great. I feel like I have more to talk about with my therapist. In the best way.
Yeah.
Okay. So the card that I got is the Queen of Cups.
Ooh.
Wow. Did we pull a card last time?
We did look it up. Aaliyah, last time you were on, it was Yule time of 2019. Way too long. And you drew the Queen of Swords. Actually.
Okay, so I remembered it was a queen. All right, cool.
That's good memory.
Yeah.
Queen of Swords is one of my favorite ones too. So.
So you drew the Queen of Cups.
Yeah, and the Queen of Cups, to me, when I was pulling cards, what I was just calling in, I just said, what's a card and a message in alignment with the highest and best good for Witchcast listeners. And so the Queen of Cups is, I approach this card as like recognizing that the court cards in the tarot are double elemented. So we're dealing with an extra element of complexity because it's a queen and not just like an ace of cups or whatever. And so the queens are water, and so are the cups. And so we're getting a double dose of intuitive, energetic, like kind of mastery with the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups I see as like a real kind of like a real seer, a real like empathetic doesn't even feel like the right word, because they are so capable of like understanding the complexity of emotion and willing to be present with feeling in general as like a source of energetic, as a source of cleansing, clearing, understanding, and moving through the world. The Queen of Cups in particular is a card that is an invitation into centering yourself, maybe spending some time away from the world at large to be present with your emotions, be present with your feelings. It's a card that's asking you to like really kind of approach emotion and intuition, not from a place of like fear or lack, but from a place of understanding like how powerful and how informative these energies are. And to letting yourself just like move with it and like flow with it and let yourself like soak in it, like whatever kind of water metaphor that you want to use for the Queen of Cups. It's just like a really powerful kind of tool for really like mastering intuitive energy.
Yeah.
That's great. That's lovely.
I love that. And so listeners, take that message, go forward with it.
Apply it to your life as necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a perfect card for this week and for today, I think. Lovely. Will you take a photo of it and we'll post it on our Instagram? I love the illustration of it too. It's so unique.
Yeah.
From a lot of the typical imagery you see. Yeah. Oh, look at that. That is beautiful. It's like for those of you who maybe don't follow us on Instagram, which you should, it's a woman's like standing, what is it, like at a cliff, holding a bowl or a cup?
Yeah, holding a cup in like a rainstorm, like by the water. And they're receiving, they're in a receiving kind of pose.
And it's kind of red toned, which I never really see with the Queen of Cups. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's gorgeous. Awesome. I love that. I feel like I always think of rain as well, it's raining. My fiance loves walking in the rain. It's like his favorite thing to do, and I'm always like, well, why? You get all cold. But I love that idea of just kind of just like receiving, just kind of accepting it as a
Absolutely.
gift.
Yeah.
That's so great.
The Queen's Cup always runneth over.
Yeah, for real.
Accepting gifts from wherever they come.
It's a good place to be. It's a good place to be. Oh, I feel good. I feel great. Every time I talk to you, Aaliyah, I feel so good. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks for, sharing some of your time with us.
Yeah. You just always have such good energy coming off of you too. I feel like, just lovely. So people can like I said again, people can follow you on Instagram at Aaliyah Walston, or check out AaliyahWalston.com. Do both. You can follow us at Witchcast Podcast on Instagram, and we'll post links and everything in tag Aaliyah, so you can follow them as well. And if you enjoyed this conversation, if you like this podcast, please feel free to leave us a little review, give us a little rating. It helps other people find us. And it means a lot when you all, comment and let us know if we were helpful to you or not. It means a lot to us.
Yeah. We always love hearing from the people that listen to this thing that we do.
You keep us going. You keep us alive.
We do it for the fans.
And ourselves, really.
Well, yeah.
I really just want to say thank you for having me, and I really enjoyed talking with you all, and I've had a great time. So thank you.
Oh, thanks so much for being here.
You're welcome back anytime.
Our absolute pleasure. Yeah.
Yeah, we love you. It was amazing. Okay, well then until next time.
Hex yeah.
'Cause it's Witchcast.